Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Podcast. I'm your host, Connor, and I'm here with Linda, as always.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here again. So, Connor, what are we discussing today? I'm excited to hear.
Today, we're talking about working from home, which has become such a huge part of modern work life. A few years ago, remote work was pretty rare, but now millions of people do it every day. Do you work from home, Linda?
Yes, I do. I've been working from home for about 2 years now, and honestly, I can't imagine going back to the office full time. It's changed my life in so many ways. What about you, Connor? Do you work remotely?
I work from home about 3 days a week and go to the office the other 2 days. It's a hybrid setup that my company introduced after the pandemic. I really like having that balance between home and office. What do you like most about working from home?
Oh, there's so many things I love about it. First of all, I don't have to commute anymore, which saves me about 2 hours every day. That's 10 hours a week that I get back for myself. I can sleep later, exercise in the morning, or just have a slower start to my day. It's been amazing for my work-life balance.
The commute thing is huge, isn't it? I remember when I used to commute an hour each way to the office. That's 2 hours sitting in traffic or on crowded trains feeling stressed before the workday even starts. Now, on my work from home days, I just walk to my home office in 30 seconds. What other benefits have you noticed?
Well, I can wear comfortable clothes all day, which might sound silly, but it really makes a difference. No more wearing uncomfortable work clothes or high heels. I can wear in my pajamas if I want to, though I usually get dressed to feel more professional. Also, I can control my environment. The temperature, the lighting, the noise level. That's something you can't do in an office.
Those are all great points. I especially agree about controlling your environment. In the office, someone always wants the air conditioning too cold or too hot, and you can't really do anything about it. At home, everything is exactly how I like it. But let me ask you this. Do you find it harder to focus at home with all the distractions?
That's a good question because distractions can definitely be a challenge. At first, I struggled with it. The TV was right there, my bed was nearby, and I'd find myself doing household chores during work time. But I've learned to create boundaries and routines. I have a dedicated workspace now, and I treat my work hours seriously. What about you, Connor? Do you get distracted easily at home?
Sometimes, yes. My kitchen is just a few steps away, so I find myself snacking more than I should. And if I hear the doorbell or see something that needs fixing in the house, it's tempting to deal with it immediately. But like you said, having a dedicated workspace helps a lot. I turn my spare bedroom into a home office, and when I'm in that room, I'm in work mode.
That's smart. Having a separate space really does help your brain switch into work mode. Do you find you're more productive at home or in the office?
It depends on the type of work, actually. For tasks that require deep focus and concentration, I'm definitely more productive at home because there are fewer interruptions. No colleagues stopping by my desk to chat, no loud conversations happening around me. But for collaborative work and brainstorming sessions, the office is better because it's easier to work together in person.
I totally understand that. Video calls are convenient, but they're not quite the same as being in the same room with your team. Sometimes I miss the spontaneous conversations and the energy of working alongside other people. Do you feel isolated working from home?
On my full work from home days, I do sometimes feel a bit isolated, especially if I don't have many video meetings scheduled. You can spend the whole day just staring at your computer screen without real human interaction. That's why I appreciate the hybrid model. I get the benefits of both worlds. How do you deal with feeling isolated?
I make sure to schedule regular video calls with my colleagues, not just for work, but also for casual catch ups. We have virtual coffee breaks sometimes where we just chat about non work stuff. I also try to leave the house at least once a day, even if it's just to go for a walk or grab coffee. Getting out and seeing other people helps break up the isolation.
Those are good strategies. I do something similar. I often work from cafes when I need a change of scenery. It gives me that feeling of being around people without the structure of an office. Let's talk about work-life balance, though, because that's a tricky one. Do you find it harder to separate work time from personal time when you work from home?
Oh, yes, that's probably my biggest struggle with working from home. When your office is in your house, it's really hard to mentally clock out at the end of the day. I used to find myself checking emails at 9 or 10 at night, or working on weekends because my laptop was right there. It took me a while to set firm boundaries.
I've had the same problem. The line between work and home becomes so blurred. When you commute to an office, there's a clear physical separation. You leave work and come home. But when you work from home, you never really leave work. How did you create those boundaries you mentioned?
I had to be really intentional about it. Now I have a strict end time for my workday, and when that time comes, I shut down my computer and physically leave my home office. I also change my work clothes, even if I'm just changing into different comfortable clothes, because it signals to my brain that work is over. And I try not to check work emails after hours unless it's truly urgent.
Those are excellent habits to develop. I do something similar. I actually close the door to my home office at the end of the day, so I can't even see my workspace. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. Do your family or roommates understand your work from home situation?
Fortunately, yes. At first, my family didn't quite get it. They thought because I was home, I could do household tasks or run errands during the day. I had to explain that working from home is still working, not a vacation. Now they respect my work hours and don't disturb me unless it's important. Do you live with other people?
I live with my partner, and we both work from home on some days. That can be challenging because we're sharing the space, and sometimes we're both on video calls at the same time. We've had to coordinate our schedules and be respectful of each other's work needs. But it's also nice to have lunch together or take a quick break during the day.
That sounds lovely, actually. Having someone else who understands the work from home experience must be helpful. Do you think working from home has made you more or less efficient overall?
I think I'm more efficient in some ways and less efficient in others. I definitely get more deep work done at home because I have fewer interruptions, but some tasks take longer because communication isn't as quick. In the office, I could just walk over to someone's desk and get an answer immediately. From home, I have to send a message and wait for a response.
That's true. Communication can be slower when everyone's remote, though I found that my team has gotten better at it over time. We use chat tools more effectively now, and people are generally pretty responsive. What tools do you use for remote work?
We use a combination of tools: video calls through Zoom or Microsoft Teams, instant messaging through Slack, and project management through tools like Trello or Asana. It's a lot of different platforms to keep track of, which can be overwhelming sometimes. Do you use similar tools?
Yes, pretty much the same set of tools. I agree it can be overwhelming to have 10 different apps open all the time. Sometimes I miss the simplicity of just talking to someone face to face. But these tools do make remote work possible, so I'm grateful for them. Let me ask you something. Do you think you dress differently when working from home?
Definitely. On office days, I wear proper business casual clothes. But on work from home days, I'm much more casual. Usually just a nice shirt on top for video calls and comfortable pants or even shorts on the bottom. I've heard people call it the mullet approach. Business on top, casual on the bottom.
That's funny but accurate. I do the same thing. I make sure I look presentable from the waist up for video calls, but below the camera, I could be wearing pajama bottoms and no one would know. It's one of the small perks of remote work. Do you eat healthier or less healthy when working from home?
That's an interesting question. I think it could go either way depending on the person. For me, I actually eat healthier at home because I can prepare fresh meals and I'm not tempted by unhealthy office snacks or going out for fast food with colleagues. But I do snack more throughout the day because food is so accessible.
I've had a similar experience. I cook more at home and eat more vegetables and balanced meals. But you're right about the snacking. I have to be careful not to constantly wander into the kitchen. Working from home has definitely changed my eating habits. What about exercise? Do you exercise more or less now?
I exercise more, actually. Since I'm not spending time commuting, I can fit in a morning workout before starting work. I also take walking breaks during the day, which I never did in the office. How about you?
Same here. I do yoga in the morning now, which I never had time for when I was commuting. And I take my lunch break to go for a walk outside, which is great for both physical and mental health. I think working from home has actually improved my overall wellness.
That's great to hear. Not everyone has that positive experience, though. Some people struggle with their mental health when working from home because of the isolation and lack of structure. Do you think working from home is suitable for everyone?
Honestly, no. I think it depends on your personality, your living situation, and the type of work you do.
Some people thrive with the independence and flexibility of remote work, while others need the structure and social interaction of an office environment. And not everyone has a quiet, comfortable space to work from home.
You're absolutely right. I have friends who live in small apartments without room for a proper home office, or they have young children at home who need attention. For them, working from home is really challenging. It's important to acknowledge that remote work is a privilege that not everyone can enjoy equally.
That's a really important point. We also need to remember that many jobs can't be done remotely at all. Teachers, nurses, retail workers, construction workers, they have to be physically present. The conversation about remote work sometimes forgets about them. Do you think the trend toward remote work will continue?
I think hybrid work is here to stay for jobs where it's possible. Many companies have realized that employees can be productive from home, and employees have experienced the benefits and don't want to go back to full-time office work. But I think we'll see a variety of models, some fully remote, some hybrid, some fully in-office.
I hope companies remain flexible and let employees choose what works best for them. One size doesn't fit all. What do you think are the biggest challenges companies face with remote work?
I think maintaining company culture is a big challenge. When everyone's scattered in different locations, it's harder to build that sense of team unity and shared purpose. Companies have to be more intentional about creating connection and community. Also, managing remote teams requires different skills than managing in-person teams.
Those are good points. I've also heard concerns about career development for remote workers. There's a worry that people who work from home might be overlooked for promotions because they're not as visible to management. Have you experienced that?
I haven't personally, but I've heard the same concerns. There's this idea of out of sight, out of mind, where remote workers might not get the same opportunities as those who are in the office more often. That's something companies need to be conscious about and actively work to prevent.
Definitely. Fair treatment should be based on performance, not physical presence. Let me ask you about expenses. Do you think working from home is more expensive or less expensive than going to the office?
That's an interesting question. On one hand, I save money on commuting costs, gas or public transportation, and buying lunch every day. On the other hand, my home electricity and heating bills have gone up because I'm home all day. Overall, though, I think I'm saving money working from home.
I'm saving money too, definitely. I used to spend so much on work clothes, dry cleaning, coffees, and lunches out. Now all that money stays in my pocket. Though some people have had to invest in home office equipment, like a good desk, chair, or better internet, which can be expensive up front.
That's true. I bought a proper office chair and a second monitor when I started working from home regularly, which was a few $100s. But my company actually reimbursed me for some of that equipment. Does your company provide any support for home office setup?
Yes, they gave us a budget to buy what we needed. I got a standing desk and a better webcam for video calls. I think more companies are recognizing that if they want employees to work from home effectively, they need to support them with the right equipment.
That's good to hear. Now, let me ask you about something practical. How do you handle video call fatigue? Because that's become a real issue with remote work.
Oh, video call fatigue is very real. I find it exhausting to be on camera all day. You have to be on constantly, maintain eye contact with the camera, and you're very aware of how you look. I try to suggest phone calls instead of video calls when possible, or I'll turn my camera off for internal meetings if that's acceptable.
I do the same thing. Back-to-back video calls are draining in a way that in-person meetings aren't. I think it's because you're staring at a screen and seeing your own face, which is unnatural. I try to schedule breaks between calls and take a walk or just rest my eyes.
Good idea. I also make sure not to schedule calls during my lunch break so I have time to truly disconnect and recharge. Do you think your productivity has increased or decreased overall with working from home?
Overall, I think my productivity has increased slightly. I'm getting more deep work done and wasting less time on unnecessary meetings. But it really varies by person and by the type of work they do. Some people are definitely more productive in an office environment. What about you?
I feel more productive at home for individual work, but I miss the collaborative energy of the office for creative projects. It's a trade-off. I think the ideal situation is having the flexibility to choose where you work based on what you need to accomplish that day.
That flexibility is key. Speaking of which, do you ever travel and work from different locations, like being a digital nomad?
I've thought about it. Some of my colleagues have worked from different countries for a few weeks at a time. As long as you have good internet and can work during the right time zone, it's possible. Have you done that?
Once or twice, I've worked from a different city while visiting family. It's nice to have that flexibility, though it can be challenging to stay focused when you're in a new place. The digital nomad lifestyle sounds appealing, but I think it requires a lot of discipline.
I imagine it does. You'd have to be very organized and self-motivated. Well, Connor, I think we've covered working from home pretty thoroughly today. It's such a relevant topic for so many people right now.
We really have explored many different angles of it. I hope our listeners found this useful, whether they currently work from home or considering it in the future.
Me too. It's interesting how much work culture has changed in just a few years. Remote work went from being rare to being completely normal for millions of people.
It's been a huge shift. Before we wrap up, let's remind everyone to subscribe to Daily English Podcast if you haven't already. Your support helps us keep creating these episodes.
Yes, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you enjoyed today's conversation about working from home. It really helps other English learners discover our podcast.
And as always, if you have topic suggestions for future episodes, leave us a comment. We love hearing what you want to learn about and discuss.
Thank you so much for listening today, everyone. Keep practicing your English and remember that consistency is key to improvement.
We'll see you tomorrow with another interesting topic. Until then, take care and goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful day.